Uncle C back in the office, and in today's video I'm going to explain the number one male trait that gets all women obsessed and ultimately in love with a man. And this is a hidden superpower that you probably don't even know that you have. Now, if you're new to this channel, my name is Casey Zander. I'm the founder of Headman, and I'm here to revitalize masculinity and ultimately help make men full stack. Let's dive in. So in order for me to reveal this number one trait that makes all women wild for you, we have to preface this with where the current state of men are at and ultimately what the current state of masculinity is like. Because if we don't have a starting point, there's no way we can have an end goal. And ultimately, there's no way that we can have belief that the end goal or that the end trait that we're becoming is ultimately fit for us in order to become what it is that we want to become. So where are most men at? There's three specific categories right now in life that all men are at. Number one, majority of men are scared of verbal confrontation. Let's take a look at this. Now, I'm not saying verbal confrontation is good, but what I can tell you is that if a woman notices that you have the ability to sit in the fire, right? There's three specific things that I am seeing most modern men are extremely fearful of, okay? And let's dive into each one of these so we can preface this correctly. Number one, majority of men today are scared of verbal confrontation. Now, this is something you have to be very aware of because most men are extremely scared to speak their thoughts, their opinions, or ultimately their stance on any topic. Now, this can be a wide variety of topics. This can be a topic that they feel that they need to have a boundary with a woman. This can be a way that they feel that they need to be respected within a relationship. This can ultimately be their thoughts, their patterns, their belief systems, and ultimately who they are. They are scared to have that go against the grain. And here's what I can tell you. If you're fearful of verbal confrontation, you ultimately lead to the second point, which is scared of people not liking you. Here's why, as a man, this is one of the biggest mistakes that you could ever make. If you have fear of judgment or fear of people not liking you, what will happen is you will become just like everybody else. You will become a sheep in a sea of 99%ers. The reason why on this channel consistently I've explained that there's a difference between 99%er thinking and 1%er thinking is to truly be a headman. If you're a part of Headman Nation, you know that you are on your purpose and you are going your direction and you are leading your own life the right way. And if a woman decides to complement that life and be part of that, great. If not, her loss, not yours. Now, if you're fearful of people not liking you, this is going to stem from insecurities within yourself, which means your true authentic self, you are most likely not necessarily comfortable yet with who you are. This is bad because if those first two things line up, ultimately number three is going to line up too, which means you're scared of controversy and you're going to end up going with the flow. Here's what I can tell you about men who go with the flow. If you're a go with the flow kind of guy, you don't have your own set of beliefs, your own set of standards. What happens is that your boundaries and your beliefs, they get bendable. They're not rigid, right? As a man, you need rigid pillars of which you live by. These pillars can be how you carry yourself, how you think, anything. Like, you get to set your own life, and that's part of being a true leader. But what you have to remember is that the second that you go with the flow, the boundaries that you used to have or that you know in your heart of hearts that you should have and the respect that you should have and ultimately how people should respect you, you will start to bend that and they will weaken and you will become softer. As you become softer, you become more emotional, and as you become more emotional, you will notice women will start to exit your life and not necessarily be part of it and complement it. Here's what I can tell you. As soon as you become a man who possesses these three traits, this will cause loss of attraction, especially if you are fearful of controversy or stating your opinion forward. What I can tell you is this. Men who are disagreeable at times or extremely willing to put themselves out there, extremely willing to not go with the ways of the crowd. The number one trait that drives all women completely wild for a man that she will fall in love with is a man who is unapologetic and knows himself. So, I'm going to give you multiple examples of this. And the reason why a woman falls in love with a man who is unapologetic and knows himself is because the second you apologize is the second that even if you believe you're right and even if you are speaking truth, the second that you say, I'm sorry, or I will tone it down for you, what that shows is you are prioritizing the thoughts, the feelings, and the emotion over masculine rationale. So it does not matter how bad that truth hurts. Your job as a man is to remain intact with that truth that you fully possess. And see, this is your hidden superpower that most people do not have. If you can learn to do this, if you can learn to sit in the fire, while most men are fearful that this will cause women to exit their life, while most men are fearful that this will cause women to pull back and to withdraw, what I can tell you is that she will now see an attractive man who is firm within his masculinity and ultimately firm within himself and knows himself. So I'm going to give you an example. Oftentimes, as this subscriber count has grown, if I'm out in public, or let's say I'm traveling through an airport or something, or people come up and they ask me some things, or, sometimes women from time to time, they'll say things like, do you actually believe this? Do you actually think this way? Do you actually blah, 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 blah? And I just sit there and go, yeah, I do. What are you going to do about it? And guess what? They're not going to do a damn thing about it. Because I don't have to apologize and I don't have to tone it down just because it offends them. The second that you do that, you lose their respect. Despite them liking you or not liking you has nothing to do with if you are an attractive man or not. And this is oftentimes where you will hear the saying time and time again, why nice guys do not make attractive men. And there's a very big difference between a nice guy and a good man. You see, a good man will lead with truth. A good man will speak truth. A good man will speak how things are, not how those things that they are affect the impact and the feelings of others. So I'm going to give you another example, okay? In life, as a man, when you are on your purpose, when you're on your mission, you're going to have vision and you're going to start to see the world for how you would like it to be, or at minimum, here's what's going to happen. You will start to see the world for how you want it to be for your own life, okay? Everybody who comes into that path, whether that be women, whether that be past friends, or whether that be relatives, here's what I can tell you. People will demonize what it is that you do, or people will demonize how it is that you think if it is not exactly how everybody else thinks. And the reason why this is poor is because the quickest way to be stripped of your masculinity and to be betatized by a million cuts is you start to think, express, emote, and communicate just like everybody else. And the second that you do that, you become a soft, Pillsbury doughboy, cookie cutter nice guy that can't get anything in life because his purpose and his vision and his mission is consistently sacrificed by the ways of the world and how everybody else carries themselves. If you would like to know the number one trait to get a woman obsessed with you, the key is to be unapologetic in who you are at all times. This is where your authentic self shines through. And ultimately, true confidence is built not an aura or not a persona. See, this is when who you are, you're fully comfortable with yourself. And it doesn't matter what you wear. It doesn't matter how you look. It doesn't matter how you dress. If you're a guy who is unapologetic, you put yourself forthrightly out in the world. That is the number one most attractive thing to a woman. And that is ultimately the number one way that makes all women feel safe. And if you can do this, not only will women be wildly obsessed with you, but if you can actually sit within that confrontation and when confronted, you do not bend or break or waver with the thoughts, belief patterns, and visions of the way that you have the world or that you have set for yourself that you truly believe in, you, my friend, will have more options than you could ever imagine. So if this video resonated with you, there's a few things that I want you to do. Oftentimes guys come to me and they say, Casey, how do I be part of Headman Nation? How do I become part of this movement? Well, there's a few different ways. Number one, first and foremost, if you're a man brand new to dating, you struggle with attracting women, and you can tell that your belief system is not on point, and you want to learn how to be a man of value, I highly recommend starting by going down below, watching the MBT webinar, where I take you through a full-on 90-minute video presentation to show you step-by-step exactly the 4 keys that you need to master masculine behavioral techniques. So that's number one. Number two, I highly recommend you subscribing to my newsletter. 2 to 3 times per week, I'm pumping out behind-the-scenes content to show you exactly how you can be a man of wealth, how you can ultimately grow to your potential, and advanced lessons in female nature and female dynamic that stems from good fundamental concepts and roots of masculinity. And last but not least, if you're looking to work one-to-one with me, I highly advise you going down below, booking a call with my brother Cole. Cole will ultimately see if you're a fit to work one-to-one with me. He will take you through a full-on discovery process on the phone. You'll get to speak with my actual brother. And from there, if extended the invitation, you'll have the ability to work with me. I'll show you exactly the ways of a true headman. Guys, hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you want to see next, and we will see you in the next one.